Hey everyone, hey YouTube family, Garth here, coming to you from South Africa, from my tiny house that I built myself. This video is just going to be a talking video because I've had so many emails, and thank you for reaching out to communicate about tiny house living in South Africa. And I've now been in my tiny house for 2.5 years. I built it myself. It's solar powered. It's on a trailer. I have my own water catchment. I deal with my own human waste, and we are growing food around us. So I get a lot of emails, and the emails are pretty much the same. So I thought if I just made a little explanation, this should be everything that you need to know about tiny house living in South Africa from my point of view. First of all, I live out in a rural, more of a rural small town situation in South Africa. So as per the rules, I live on a farm. I lease a small piece of land on the farm, and I have my own little self-sustainable homestead on that farm, and I lease that. The home is on wheels, so it's not really classified as a home, but I guess there is a bit of gray area because it's on a farm. I don't know how it's going to go down in suburban South Africa. In South Africa, they don't even allow you to build cob housing because basically they don't know what it is. But I mean, people have been building cob houses for like 1,000 years. So I think in rural areas, probably going to be easier. In urban areas, I think you're going to have your work cut out for you trying to find workarounds. My house is on a trailer. That trailer was built by me. It was bought by me, built, extended, and then it was scrapped. So it's no longer a licensed vehicle on the road, but I can move it because it is within the rule regulations of the road. So if I need to move it, I will move it. I think in South Africa, the thing to note is that we are not going to be pretty much driving around like the tiny house community across the world. I think that most people in South Africa are interested in tiny house living because it's maybe an affordable form of homesteading, and even in that respect I'd like to add on to that. But basically the thing is that living in South Africa, living is not cheap. Alright, living in the city is pretty much way beyond most people's means, and it's just getting more expensive. So I would recommend making a smaller scale homestead and then just building on that, you know. Yes, you're going to have to give up some personal space. I promise you it's going to work out better in the long run. Cool, so my house is on a trailer, built the house myself. If you're going to build a tiny house yourself, you're going to need tools. You're going to need somewhere quite big to build it. You're going to either need a lot of money, like basically this house to build myself as it stands with solar power, all of that, and fittings, everything inside. You're kind of looking like 150,000-160,000 rand. I also took a few months to build the trailer, find the trailer, so I saved a lot of money. If you build just the trailer big enough to carry this size house, which is 7 meters by 2.4 wide, 7 meters long by 2.4 wide by 3.5 high, you're going to need to build a trailer about 60,000-70,000 rand, which is way beyond the means for most people. So, you know, I get the same questions and I just give the same answers. I think sustainable living is the only way forward. Smaller living is going to be much easier, or communal living, but that is a whole different conversation. We've been living like in small communities, or aspiring to live in communities, for nearly 20 years now in South Africa. So right now this is the best model for me. I recommend to a lot of people that contact me to consider where you're going to put this tiny house, to consider first of all how much money have you got to spend. Is it going to be within your budget? Are you going to have use of power, or do you want to go completely off grid? All right. The next things would be how good are you with your hands? Do you realize that this is a lifestyle? Once you get set up, cool, you're going to be in a rural area. Where are you going to work? You know, I'm happy to build my home, deal with my shit, learn how to fix things, and carry on like that. Are you prepared to do that? You know, other countries around the world, yes, they can build them for $10,000, and maybe you even get a loan for $10,000. But the average South African that wants to build a tiny house, if you go into a bank and ask them for 200,000 Rand to build something that's not exactly our vehicle and not exactly our house, I don't think the money's going to come very easy. Or if it is going to come, it's going to come with a very high interest rate. So yeah, I'm going to have to probably break this down into quite a few parts, but really what I'd like to do is just put this out there. If you watch this video, and you are interested in sustainable living in South Africa, if you're interested in building a tiny house in South Africa, please leave a comment in the video section below, and what I will do is then make a short clip like this answering that question to the best of my ability. Yes, I am a little bit of a rebel and I'm just doing it my own way, but you know, you must understand we are two adults and a giant dog living in 25 square meters, but we mostly live outdoors. It's easy to heat. Containers, in my opinion, are just not even an option, and the easiest way to represent that is go stand by a fire, take a piece of metal in one hand and take a piece of wood in the other hand, stick them in the fire, and tell me which one you let go of first. The metal. Also, in your tiny house, do you want to have Wi-Fi, a refrigerator? Do you understand what EMF is inside an metal box? You know, these are things that you really need to consider. Containers are great, hard to insulate, but they rust, you know. So I've got some other ideas, but I want to know from you guys that you're interested to know, and I'll gladly make short little clip. So thank you for watching. My name is Garth. This is my YouTube channel. Basically, on this YouTube channel, I will be making content about sustainable living in South Africa, some travel missions that I go on because I live in a really beautiful place and I have a lot of free time because I live in a tiny house and my cost of living is low, to explore and go on adventures and try live my dreams. So it's small adventures, tiny house living, and every now and then maybe even a community project. I love making film and taking photographs, so please subscribe to my channel. Please share it to other people that you think might be interested. And yeah, downscale. Learn about your environment. Build your own house, because basically if you build a house, even if you lose the house, you'll never lose the experience of building the house, and you can always do it again. So that's my little rant. I hope it came out well. I'm not going to be able to do this again, so I hope the face focus was on, and thank you for watching. And please, any questions you'd like, put them in the comments below and I'll make a video like this explaining to the best of my ability in that format. Cheers guys, see you soon.